All right, everyone. Welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for November 6th to the 12th of 2017. And yes, this video is for Sidereal Astrology, which means we're using the actual size of the constellations, which puts the signs different than mainstream astrology. So if you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link down below and definitely check out your sidereal sign. All right, so this week, an important week in terms of the big picture energy of the year. We've got Saturn trining up to Uranus for the last and final time. This has been going on since December 24th of last year, and it is this final integration of changes in our life, particularly changes to the structures of our life, the foundations of things we've built over the previous many years, sometimes decades with Saturn, now solidifying some changes for freedom. Uranus is all about restructuring our life so that it is more of a reflection of what we're truly about. So that could be solidifying this week. We also do have Mercury going into Scorpio right off the bat Monday, Tuesday. Could be seeing things on a deeper level. Really good for a deep mind, deep communications, things like that we'll talk about. And the Sun sextiling Pluto. All in all, I think a pretty supportive week. A lot of supportive aspects. So let's go ahead and look at all of this here in more detail. All right, so we're going to look at this collectively for everyone. Down below in the comments section, there are links to the individual signs if you want to just go ahead and skip this general reading and go straight to the individual signs for your sun, moon, and ascendant. Those are down below. But let's go ahead and look at this for the general collective reading first. And then after that, you can also check out your personal signs. So first things first, let's look at the beginning of the week. We are coming into this week off of a full moon from last Friday. It was a full moon in Aries. So the energy of this week is about taking the insights that you may have gained from last weekend or later last week and start to implement them, start to apply them. We're in the disseminating phase, which is essentially that disseminating the information into our daily life. And as we go through the week, we do enter into the third quarter phase, which is great for taking action and steps towards those insights, really willing ourselves to do that. And it really is an empowering sort of week with this Scorpio shift, with this Pluto energy. I think it's a great, and then this trine to Uranus, I think it's great for this, integration, final implementation in many regards. So the sun shifted into Libra last weekend as well. So our focus is shifting a little bit more in terms of how we can bring in some mutuality in our life, cooperation if it's in the relationship sphere, balance, mutuality, justice, doing the right thing. But in our personal life as well, bringing some balance and maybe focusing more in terms of things on that level. We still, of course, do have Venus and Mars in Virgo, which does emphasize this lots of Virgo energy these past couple of months, almost 3 months now, of taking care of things, working on the details. But with Venus, we can be enjoying this, enjoying self-improvement, enjoying structure, organization. And Mars, it could be very motivating, in fact. We could be really direct in terms of taking care of the details, fixing things, finding solutions, things like that. And of course, Jupiter is expanding this whole area, so there's a lot to learn about it. And there could be opportunities in our life pertaining to this meticulous Virgo energy, which is really about doing the work, right? So right at the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Mercury shifts into Scorpio. So this is great for getting down to the bottom of things. I think collectively, our minds are going into a very deep realm. We could be wanting to get to the truth, wanting to get to the core of the matter this week. And this does make it really good for anything that might require this, whether it's, let's say, research, if it's more on a productive level for you, really good for that. Studying occult or hidden things. And in our personal life, a bit of vulnerability and openness because we're more attuned to that level, communicating this because we're seeing it, we're seeing the hidden, we're seeing the things that are normally underneath the surface, both about ourselves and with relationships as well. So there's that shift, and that will be a theme all week. And that's pretty much the beginning of the week energies, that Mercury going into Scorpio. We are going to have the moon in Taurus on Monday. So Monday in particular could be really good for being grateful for what we have, connecting to the material life, stopping to smell the roses, maybe enjoying some luxurious things or a good meal, or just getting that sort of area, connecting to that area on Monday. Then on Tuesday, the moon does shift into Gemini. So Tuesday, Wednesday will be this energy of great for learning, inquisitiveness. Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, going into Scorpio again, really good for uncovering hidden things, but getting into that curious energy as well. And then once we get to about Wednesday, we'll start to feel this sun sextiling up to Pluto, which will be the emphasis for pretty much the whole middle part of the week here. It's not a major aspect, but it is an opening. And I think the opening here is this willingness to remove obstacles, this willingness to face fears. Not that there necessarily will be, but it's that sort of empowering feeling of doing things that maybe we normally would be afraid of. And so an opening for this. All right, so with the sextiles, it's kind of just like a door opens. We can choose or choose not to work with it. But with all of this supportive energy and the Saturn trine Uranus I'll talk about, it really does seem like a really good week for doing that, right? For taking those action, taking those steps, and removing those obstacles, and facing those fears or inhibitions that we can be very willing or able to do here this week. All right, so that's the middle week energy, and all week we are going to have this Saturn trining up to Uranus. I think this is the really the key emphasis of the entire week, and there could be something shifting as we get into the weekend with it. Like I said, it's been going on since December 24th. So thinking back to then, has there been anything in your life that you've been feeling like you want to solidify that is more of an expression of your true self? And maybe maybe you've been thinking about or actively making changes to your structures. And so this is a week where that's all happening, right? It's the final aspect. If you think back to May, there may have been some sort of awareness shift around May 19th. We had the second aspect with this. And since May, it's been great for actually doing this, right? For actually restructuring, changing the foundations so they are, so our life is freer, basically, more of an expression of what we're about. So this is very collective. We're going to look to see which houses this is for you individually, but again, very good week for this type of stuff, especially if it's relating back to those insights from December and whatever you've started to change since May. All right, so in terms of the lunar aspects, the middle part of the week, around Thursday here, after we get out of that sort of curious Gemini energy of Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, the moon will be in Cancer. Really good for a bit of the emotional side of things, connecting to our personal life, whether it's your home, your family, just your emotions, maybe reflecting on the past a little bit. And that could be a bit of a good boost in terms of making whatever these changes are, this opening that could be taking place with Pluto. And then Friday through the rest of the weekend, the moon will be in Leo, right? Very good energy, I think, for self-expression. Again, having some fun maybe and aligning that with our true self. Entertainment could be good. Anything that does involve a bit of passion in our life and self-expression. All right, so that is the week in a nutshell. Of course, I will be making a daily for this week, so do check your dailies. As we get into Monday, I do want to say that Venus will be getting very close to Jupiter, so there could be some relationship opportunities or just feeling a bit inspired or hopeful about relationships as we get into next week. But I'll make a specific video for that for the daily, and I'll talk about that for the next weekly forecast. All right, so let's go and look at all of this here for the individual signs. You can go down to the comment section. And again, I do recommend watching this for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. If you don't know your sidereal moon or ascendant, do check the calculator down below, which will show that as well. All right, so see you there.